Welcome to this month's roundup of news and polls from Ipsos MORI. This month, as most months, Brexit remains the key concern the public have in this country. 7 out of 10 say it's the biggest issue facing the country. But below that, we've seen a fall in concern about the National Health Service and instead a rise in anxiety about crime, which is now the highest it's been in the last 8 years, as we see high levels of signal crime and knife crime in our major cities. Despite all our problems with Brexit, which seems to go on and on and on, interestingly, Theresa May is still viewed more favourably than Jeremy Corbyn, or indeed any of her potential Conservative successors. And it's interesting to see Boris Johnson, who's often touted as a potential replacement for Mrs May in a leadership competition in the Conservative Party, coming out very clearly as well known, but also a bit like Marmite, with 64% of the public who disagree that he would make a good Prime Minister. The figure for Mrs May is only 57%. On the other hand, Jeremy Corbyn can't be very cheerful either. 67% of the public say he wouldn't make a good Prime Minister. Moving on, we have the European Union elections coming up on the 23rd of May, despite the best wishes of many politicians, and 7 out of 10 of us say we're worried that fake news could influence the result of that election. Because of that, 3/4 of us in Britain say it should be a criminal offence to spread fake news deliberately. The mind boggles. Does £350 million a week for the NHS as a claim constitute fake news? And who would decide? The judges would probably be very busy, but the anxiety about it is real. And then with Extinction Rebellion occupying parts of London and certainly delaying my journey to work some days, we can see growing concern about the environment, but also the British becoming one of the most concerned countries globally about overpackaging, about single-use plastics, and about overpopulation. Maybe, finally, behaviour will start to catch up with some of these anxieties in due course. More positively, we welcome a new member of the royal family, with Harry and Meghan having their first child. And interestingly, in our long-term tracking that we've been doing of attitudes to the royal family, the princes, Harry and William, are now consistently more popular than the Queen herself, the younger generation possibly taking over. All this and much more in this month's issue. We've got a fall in expectations on house prices, reflecting what's going on in the market. We've done the first ever UK cybersecurity survey to understand what people know about that, given that they're often more at risk of a cyber attack or a hack than they are a physical burglary. And we've looked at driverless cars and how we could measure public opinion about technologies that don't really yet exist. All that and much, much more in this month's issue. See you next month. Thank you.